Minsu sat at his desk at 2 in the morning, staring at his computer screen. His small apartment in Seoul was quiet and dark. Only the blue light from his monitor lit up his face. He was a data analyst by day, but at night, he had a strange hobby that nobody knew about. He spent hours listening to strange signals from space and trying to understand them. Minsu had discovered these signals by accident 3 months ago. He was playing with old radio equipment that he had bought from a second-hand market. He did not expect to find anything real, but then he heard it, strange beeping sounds and clicking noises that did not match anything he knew. For weeks, he thought he was crazy. But then he started to understand a pattern in the sounds. There was a structure to them. It was like a language. He spent every night working on this mystery. He made computer programs to help him translate the signals. His friends thought he was wasting his time. His boss at work was not happy because Minsu looked tired all the time. But Minsu did not care. He felt like he was on the edge of something very big and very real. Tonight was like any other night. Minsu was writing notes in a small notebook. He was trying to understand what the signal meant. The words seemed to be something like approach vector and dimensional coordinates. It did not make sense to him. He rubbed his eyes and leaned back in his chair. It was getting late, and he was getting tired. That was when his window exploded. But it did not explode like a bomb. There was no loud noise and no flying glass. Instead, the window simply shimmered like water, and then it became full of light. Minsu jumped out of his chair so fast that it fell backward and crashed to the ground. He stared at his window in shock. The light was every color of the rainbow, and it was growing bigger. Then something came through the light. It was a person, or at least it had the basic shape of a person. But it was not human. The creature had blue-green skin that seemed to glow a little. It had 4 arms instead of 2. Its eyes were large and black, like the night sky, and it was falling. The creature tumbled through the shimmering light and crashed into Minsu's room with a loud sound. It rolled across his floor and knocked over his chair again, his desk lamp, and a pile of books he had been reading. Minsu stood frozen. He could not move. He could not speak. His brain was not working properly. This could not be real. This was not really happening in his small apartment in Seoul. The creature lifted its head and looked at Minsu with those big black eyes. It clicked and beeped, making the same sounds that Minsu had been listening to for 3 months. The creature was making sounds that matched the alien signals. This could only mean one thing. This was real. This was actually real. The creature stood up slowly. It was very tall, maybe 7 or 8 feet high. It stretched its 4 arms and looked around the small room. Its eyes moved from the computer to the posters on the wall to the pile of clothes in the corner. When it saw the posters, it stopped moving. It stared at one poster in particular. It was a poster of a famous human actress in a fitness magazine. The actress was in a pose that showed her body very clearly. The creature looked at the poster. Then it looked at Minsu. Then it looked back at the poster. A smile appeared on its face, or what Minsu thought was a smile. The creature made a sound that was somewhere between a laugh and a click. "So you admire my butt?" the creature said. The words came out of its mouth in clear, perfect Korean. "This is the body of my people. This form is beautiful to your human eyes, yes?" Minsu's mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. How could this be happening? How was this alien creature speaking Korean, and why was it talking about butts? The creature laughed again, a strange sound that was both beautiful and scary at the same time. It picked itself up from the floor and walked to the window. It touched the shimmering light, and it became solid again. The window closed, and the light disappeared. Now there was just a regular window, except there was no glass in it. The cold night air came into the room. The creature turned back to Minsu and smiled again. "I am sorry for the sudden arrival," it said in Korean. "My ship has some problems. I was trying to reach the other side of your planet, but I made a wrong turn. Your window was in the way. I am Caitlus. I am the heir to the Vrothian collective, and I think I need your help." Minsu still could not speak. His brain was moving very slowly. An alien princess had just crashed through his window and asked for his help. This was not happening. He was probably dreaming, or he had gone crazy from staying up too late. Kalis walked closer to Minsu. She was even taller up close. She looked down at him with curiosity in her big black eyes. "You are not speaking," she said. "Is this normal for humans, or are you just stupid?" That question was enough to make Minsu's brain start working again. "I am not stupid," he said. His voice was very quiet and very shaky. "I am just surprised. You are not human." "That is correct," Kalis said. "I am very clearly not human. Even your human eyes should be able to see this. I have 4 arms. I have blue-green skin. I am much taller than you. These are not human qualities." "Why are you here?" Minsu asked. "Why did you crash into my window?" Kalis sat down on Minsu's bed without asking permission. The bed made a loud creaking sound under her weight. "I told you," she said. "My ship had problems. I need to repair it, but I cannot do that alone, and I cannot go to your government people. They would try to keep me here or hurt me. So I need someone quiet and small. Someone with a small apartment where nobody will look. Someone like you." Minsu walked over to his bed slowly. He sat down next to this impossible creature from space. "This is crazy," he said. "This is completely crazy." "Yes," Kalis agreed. "This is very crazy. But it is happening anyway. Now, will you help me or not?" Minsu looked at the alien princess sitting on his bed. He looked at his broken window. He looked at his computer, which was still showing the alien signals he had been studying all night. Then he looked back at Kalis. "Yes," he said. "I will help you. But first, please tell me why you are an alien princess, and why you have crashed into my room, and how you know how to speak perfect Korean." Kalis smiled that strange smile again. "That," she said, "is a very long story." Outside, in the Seoul night, nobody knew what had just happened in that small apartment. The city was still and quiet, but everything had changed. The world of Minsu and the world of Earth would never be the same again. The sun was coming up when Minsu finally understood everything. Kalis had talked for hours, explaining her story between asking questions about why humans had so many posters of alien body parts on their walls. She was a princess from an alien civilization called the Vrothian Collective. Her people lived far away in space and had been watching Earth for a very long time. They thought humans were boring and not very smart, but Kalis was different. She did not want to marry the prince her father had chosen for her. She did not want to follow the rules of her people. So she stole a small ship and ran away. But her ship was damaged when she tried to escape through Earth's atmosphere. "Your planet is very messy," Kalis said, looking out the broken window at the Seoul skyline. "There is so much pollution in your air. My ship's protection system was not ready for it. Now I am stuck here until I can get parts to fix the quantum drive, and I cannot leave this room because your people are everywhere outside." Minsu made coffee in his small kitchen. His hands were shaking a little. He was not sure if he was tired or scared or excited. Maybe all 3. "How long will you need to stay here?" he asked. 3 days. Maybe 4, Kalis said. She was sitting on Minsu's bed again, her 4 arms folded in a way that looked like she was thinking hard. "I have sent a message to a contact on your planet. They sell illegal technology. They can get me the parts I need, but they will take time to find them." Minsu was starting to worry about his roommate when Ji-won came home. Ji-won worked at a restaurant and usually came home in the afternoon. But today he came home at noon because it was his day off. He opened the door to the apartment and stopped. He saw the broken window. He saw the strange blue-green creature with 4 arms sitting on Min-Su's bed. For a moment, nobody moved or spoke. Then Ji-won dropped his bag and screamed. "Do not scream," Kayla said in her calm voice. "I am not going to hurt you. I am just staying here for a few days." "There is a monster in our apartment," Ji-won yelled. "Min-Su, what is happening?" Min-Su quickly explained everything to Ji-won. He told him about the signals, about the crash, about the alien princess. Ji-won did not believe him at first. He thought it was a joke, or that Min-Su had lost his mind. But then Kayla spoke in Korean, and her voice and the way she used words that only an alien would use made Ji-won realize this was real. "This is insane," Ji-won said, sitting down on the couch. "This is absolutely insane. We are going to die. The government is going to find out, and they are going to kill us for hiding an alien." "They will not find out if you do not tell them," Kayla said. She stood up and walked to Ji-won. He looked very afraid. "Also, I have a question for you. Why does your species spend so much time looking at pictures of alien body parts online? I have been reading your human internet. You have millions of pictures. Millions. Humans find the Vrothian form very interesting. Yes?" "Oh my God," Ji-won said. "The alien princess is asking me about internet pornography. This is how I die." Min-Su tried not to laugh. "She means, why are humans interested in alien bodies?" he explained to Kalis. "Because we do not know anything about aliens," Min-Su said to Kalis. "You are new to us. You are interesting because you are different." Kalis thought about this. "I understand. Humans find difference exciting. This is good to know. In my culture, we find difference boring. We prefer people who are the same as us. This is why we think you are not very advanced. We have no interest in things that are not like us." "That sounds lonely," Ji-won said quietly. The next few days were strange. Young Hee, their engineer friend who ran an illegal tech shop, came to the apartment when Min-Su called her. Young Hee was tough and smart. She looked at Kalis and did not seem scared at all. She just nodded and asked about the quantum drive. "I can get the parts," Young Hee said, "but they are very expensive and very illegal. I will need something in return." "What do you want?" Kalis asked. "Information about alien technology," Young Hee said. "If I help you, you teach me how your people make ships and computers. We teach each other. Deal?" Kalis smiled. "I like this human. She is practical. Yes, we have a deal." While Young Hee worked on fixing the ship, Kalis spent time learning about human culture. She watched old movies with Min-Su and Ji-won. She saw Titanic and cried. She saw action movies and laughed at the fake fights. She saw a cooking show and became very interested in learning about human food. "You make fire hot with electricity?" she asked Ji-won, watching him use the stove. "Yes," Ji-won said. "We cook food to make it taste better and to make it safe to eat." "We do not cook on my planet," Kayla said. "We eat food at room temperature. But this is interesting. I like this very much." Min-Su noticed something during these days. Kalis was changing. She was not just learning about human things. She was starting to think like a human. She was starting to see Earth and humans in a different way. She asked questions about why humans loved each other so much. She wanted to know why humans spent time playing games and having fun when they could be working. She could not understand why humans would help other humans without getting money or things in return. "Where I come from," Kalis told Min-Su one night, "we do not do things without reason. We do not help unless we receive something. But you humans, you helped me. You did not know me. You could have told your government. You could have made money from giving me to them, but you did not." "Why?" Min-Su thought about the question. "Because it is the right thing to do," he said. "And because I think you are interesting. I think learning about you is more important than money." Kalis looked at him with her big black eyes. "You are strange human," she said. "I think I like you." On the third day, Young He finished fixing the quantum drive. The ship could fly again. Kalis could leave Earth and go back to her people. But when the time came to leave, she did not seem very happy about it. "I could stay longer," she said to Minsu. "I could tell my people I need more time to repair the ship." "Why would you want to stay?" Minsu asked. "Because," Kalis said slowly, "I think I want to understand humans more. I think I was wrong about your people. I think you are not boring. I think you are special." Minsu smiled. "Maybe," he said, "you should not go back yet. Maybe you should stay. Maybe things are just starting to get interesting." Kalis clicked and beeped, making the sound that was her version of laughing. "Yes," she said. "Maybe you are right. Maybe I will stay a little longer." Kalis had been on Earth for 2 weeks when the ships came. Minsu first knew something was wrong when he received a phone call from Young He. Her voice was very quiet and very scared. "Something is wrong," Young He said. "I have been monitoring some special radio frequencies. There are ships coming into your planet's atmosphere, big ships, very big, and they are sending signals that match the Vrothian language. I think they are looking for someone." Minsu felt cold. He was sitting in his office at work, and suddenly everything seemed very dangerous. He looked around at the other people working at their computers. They had no idea that everything was about to change. He immediately called Kalis. She was at the apartment with Jiwon, and they were watching a Korean cooking show together. "We have to move," Minsu said when he got home. "They are looking for you." Kalis stood up very slowly. For the first time since Minsu had known her, she looked afraid. "Chancellor Teo," she said, "my father's enforcer. He has come to bring me back. He will not accept my refusal to marry. He will force me to return." "Then we have to hide you," Jiwon said. He was trying to sound brave, but his voice was shaking. "We can take you somewhere they will not look." Young He joined them at the apartment within an hour. She had brought clothes that would help hide Kalis's alien appearance. The plan was simple but dangerous. They would put human clothes on Kalis, cover her blue-green skin with makeup and a long coat, wear a hat and sunglasses, and move her through the city to a safe place. Young He had a friend who owned a restaurant in a busy area of Seoul. If they could get Kalis there, they could hide her in the basement. "We need to make her look normal," Young He said, studying Kalis carefully. "The makeup needs to cover all the blue. The clothes need to cover her arms and make her seem smaller. The hat needs to hide her eyes." For the next hour, they worked on making Kalis look human. It was difficult. Her skin was too blue, her eyes were too big and too black. But slowly, they made it work. A thick coat covered her 4 arms if she kept them carefully positioned under it. A large hat covered her head. Makeup made her skin look more pale and normal. Sunglasses covered most of her face. "You look like a person who just had plastic surgery," Jiwon said finally. "You look weird, but you look human weird, not alien weird." They took Kalis onto the busy Seoul subway. Minsu held her arm on one side, and Jiwon held her arm on the other side. She was taller than human women, but in the crowded subway, nobody seemed to notice. People were too busy looking at their phones and being tired. "Do not speak," Minsu whispered to Kalis. "Just try to act normal." "I do not know what normal is for humans," Kalis whispered back. "I am scared." They got off at the restaurant station and walked quickly through the busy market streets. The restaurant was called Hanul, and it was owned by Heina, Young He's friend. Heina was a young woman with clever eyes and fast hands. She did not ask many questions. She just opened the basement door and let them take Kalis downstairs. The basement was cold and dark, with boxes of food and wine everywhere. It was not comfortable, but it was safe. Above them, they could hear the sounds of the restaurant. People eating. People laughing. Nobody knew that an alien princess was hiding just below their feet. In the sky above Seoul, Chancellor Taeo's ships moved in the clouds. They sent out small hunting drones. These drones looked like small flying boxes. They moved through the air silently, scanning everything with sensors. They were looking for any sign of Kailis. Min-soo, Ji-won, and Young-hee stayed with Kailis in the basement. They brought her food and water. They told her stories about Earth and about what was happening in the city above. Kailis sat in the darkness and thought about her father and her people and the life she had left behind. "They will not stop looking," Kailis said. "Taeo is very determined. He believes that humans are nothing. He will search everywhere until he finds me." "Then we need to make them stop," Hae-na said. She had come down to the basement that night. "There must be a way to communicate with them, to make them understand that you do not want to go back." "They will not listen," Kailis said. "In my culture, the word of a male leader is absolute. A female heir has no right to refuse. This is our way." "That is a stupid way," Hae-na said. "Here on Earth, we believe that everyone has the right to choose their own path. Men and women are equal. We do not force people to do things they do not want to do." Kailis looked at Hae-na with surprise. "Your culture sounds very strange," she said. "Maybe," Hae-na said, "but I think it is better. I think you should try to stay here and see what happens." For 3 days, Taeo's drones searched Seoul. They looked in buildings and streets and parks. They searched the subway system and the airport, but they did not find Kailis. The humans had hidden her too well. Then something unexpected happened. A person on the internet found a video. It was a video of Kailis before she had crash-landed on Earth. It was a video that showed her refusing to marry the prince her father wanted her to marry. In the video, she was wearing her royal clothes and speaking to her father. She was telling him that she wanted to choose her own life. She was telling him that she did not want to be a wife that she did not choose. The video was only a few minutes long, but it was very powerful. Someone had leaked it from the Vrothian broadcast system. It spread across the human internet very quickly. Millions of people watched it, and they understood. "This alien princess wants to be free," people said. "Just like us? She wants to choose her own path." Humans in Seoul started to help hide Kailis. Street vendors would see a tall woman in a big coat and hat, and they would pretend not to notice anything wrong. Restaurant owners would give Kailis food and let her sit in their back rooms. People who worked at the city security offices would accidentally lose the drone footage that showed certain streets. Without knowing exactly why they were doing it, the people of Seoul were protecting Kailis. Young-hee was in her tech shop when the message came through. It was from Kailis's mother. Her mother, the queen of the Vrothian collective, was sending a private message. In the message, she said something that made everything change. "My daughter is right," the queen said in the message. "I have watched your Earth. I have seen how humans treat each other. I have seen that they value freedom and choice. I have seen that they are not weak. I have seen that they are strong in ways that my people do not understand. I will speak to the council. I will tell them to bring Taeo home. My daughter will be allowed to stay on Earth if that is what she chooses." When Min-soo heard this news, he felt like he could breathe again. He and Ji-won ran to the restaurant basement where Kailis was waiting. When they told her what her mother had said, Kailis made a sound that was somewhere between a click and a cry. "My mother," she said. "My mother believes in me." The next day, Taeo's ships turned around and left Earth. They went back to space, back to the Vrothian collective, back to a culture that did not understand freedom the way humans understood it. But they left behind Kailis, the alien princess who had chosen to stay on Earth. Kailis came out of the basement for the first time in 3 days. She took off her hat and her sunglasses and let her 4 arms rest free. She was in the restaurant with Minsu, Jiwon, Young-hee, and Haina. They were all smiling at each other. "Thank you," Kalis said simply. "You saved my life." "No," Haina said. "You helped us see who we could be. You showed us that we could be brave." Kalis looked at all of them, these humans who had risked everything to help her. She realized that her original belief about humans was completely wrong. Humans were not boring. Humans were not weak. Humans had something special that her people did not have. They had kindness. They had courage. They had hope. "I think," Kalis said, "I will like it here on Earth." The news of an alien princess on Earth spread quickly. At first, it was just a strange story on social media. People thought it was a joke or a made-up movie advertisement. But then there were pictures. There were videos. There was real proof that an alien was living in Seoul. The news became the biggest story in the world within hours. Governments were shocked. They did not know what to do. The United Nations called emergency meetings. Scientists wanted to study Kaelis. The military wanted to capture her. News teams from every country wanted to interview her. The small apartment where Kaelis had first crashed into Minsu's life became the center of the world's attention. "We cannot stay hidden anymore," Haina said. She was sitting with Minsu, Jiwon, Young-hee, and Kaelis in the back room of the restaurant. "The secret is out. Now we need to control the story. We need to tell people why you are here, Kaelis. We need to tell them your truth." "If I speak," Kaelis said, "my father will hear me. He will be angry. The council will be angry." "Let them be angry," Haina said. "You are safe here. We will protect you. And if the world hears your story, they will protect you too." Haina was a hacker by training and an activist by choice. She had spent years fighting for people's rights through the internet and through the streets. She knew how to make people listen. She knew how to use the internet to spread a message, so she made a plan. The first thing they did was record a video. In the video, Kaelis sat down and told her story. She spoke in clear, simple words. She explained that she was a princess from another world. She explained that her people thought humans were weak and stupid. She explained that she had come to Earth to escape a marriage she did not choose. And then she explained what had changed her mind about humans. "I came to your world believing that you were primitive," Kaelis said in the video. "I believed that humans had nothing to teach my people. But in just a few weeks, I have learned so much. I have learned that humans have something my people have lost. You have kindness. You have the ability to choose your own path. You have the courage to believe in what is right, even when it is difficult. I have learned that humans are not weak. Humans are strong in ways that matter." Haina posted the video on every social media platform. She sent it to every news organization. She sent it to the United Nations. She sent it to governments and schools and homes everywhere. Within hours, millions of people had watched it. Within a day, billions of people had seen it. The world stopped what it was doing and watched an alien princess explain why she believed in human beings. People cried. People felt proud. People felt angry at their own governments for wanting to capture her instead of welcome her. "We should protect her," people said on the streets. "She chose to stay with us. She believed in us when we did not believe in ourselves." Protests started in every major city. People held signs that said, "Kaelis is one of us," and "Give her asylum." Millions of humans took to the streets to say that they wanted to help Kaelis, not harm her. In the Varathian Collective, the council watched the videos and the protests. They saw how humans were responding to Kaelis's words. They heard their own princess telling the world that humans were worth something. Some of the council members became angry. But others started to wonder if perhaps they had been wrong about Earth. Kaelis's mother, the Queen, called an emergency meeting of the council. She stood in front of them and spoke about what she had been discovering for years. She had been studying Earth in secret. She had been researching human history and human culture. She had been learning that her people's beliefs about human inferiority were based on old ideas and prejudice, not on facts. "My daughter has shown us the truth," the queen said. "She has shown us that humans are not weak. She has shown us that they deserve our respect. I propose that we stop treating Earth as a backward planet. I propose that we consider making an official contact with the humans." This caused great arguments among the council. Some members thought the queen was crazy. They believed that contact with humans would be dangerous and would upset the way things had always been done. But other members, younger members who had watched Kaelus's video, believed that the queen was right. The arguments went on for days. Meanwhile, on Earth, Kaelus continued to speak with humans. She did interviews with news programs. She visited schools and spoke to children about her planet and her people. She went to hospitals and talked to sick people. She went to protests and stood with humans who were fighting for justice and freedom. One day, Kaelus visited a part of Seoul where poor people lived. She saw people living in small rooms and working hard for very little money. She saw old people begging for food. She saw children without enough clothes to stay warm. She asked Min-soo what this meant. "In my country," Min-soo said, "not everyone has the same amount of money. Some people have more, some people have less. It is not fair, but it is how things are." Kaelus was quiet for a long time. "In my world," she said finally, "everyone has enough. We do not have poor people or rich people. Everyone is the same. But I am beginning to think that even this is not perfect. Because in my world, everyone is also unhappy. Everyone is the same. But no one is free to be different. Here, on Earth, you have pain and unfairness, but you also have hope. You have the ability to change things. You have the ability to fight for what is right." She turned to Min-soo and the people who had gathered around them. "I want to help," she said. "I want to use what I have to help your people. I want to use my knowledge and my power to make things better on Earth." Word of Kaelus's promise spread quickly. People loved her even more. She was not just a visitor from space. She was someone who cared about them. She was someone who wanted to help. The Vrothian collective finally made a decision. The Queen announced that she was sending a diplomatic team to Earth. They would make official contact with human governments. They would establish communication and trade. And most importantly, Kaelus would be recognized as the official ambassador between the two worlds. When the news came, Kaelus was sitting with Min-soo in the restaurant. Heir ran in with her computer. "They are coming," Heir said, showing them the message from space. "The Vrothian delegation is arriving in 2 weeks. They want to meet with world leaders." Kaelus looked at Min-soo. "Everything is changing," she said. "Yes," Min-soo said, "but I think it is changing in a good way." Kaelus reached out one of her 4 arms and held Min-soo's hand. "I could not have done this without you," she said. "You showed me what humans really are. You showed me kindness when I showed you nothing but disrespect. Thank you for believing in me when I did not believe in myself." Min-soo squeezed her hand. "Thank you for giving us a reason to believe in ourselves," he said. Outside, in the streets of Seoul, people were still celebrating. They were celebrating the arrival of an alien princess. But more than that, they were celebrating the idea that the world was bigger and more interesting than they had ever imagined. They were celebrating the possibility that they could meet other worlds, other people, other ways of living. They were celebrating hope. And it had all started because one tired data analyst had decided to study strange signals from space, and one rebellious alien princess had decided that humans were worth knowing. The negotiation meeting happened at the United Nations building in New York. It was the most important meeting in human history. Leaders and scientists and military officers from all over the world gathered together. They were nervous and excited. They knew they were about to meet an alien civilization officially for the first time. Min Su, Ji-Wan, Young-hee, and Hai-Na were invited to go to the meeting as advisors. They would help explain what Kalis wanted and help the alien delegation understand human nature better. Min Su could not believe this was happening. He was a simple data analyst from Seoul. Now he was going to speak at the United Nations to world leaders. The Vrothian delegation arrived in their ships. The ships landed in a special area near the United Nations. They were beautiful ships, made of silver metal that seemed to shine like water. When the doors opened, out came Kalis's mother, the Queen. She was tall and impressive, with the same blue-green skin and 4 arms as Kalis. She wore clothing made of material that seemed to change color as she moved. Behind the Queen came other council members, and behind them came Teo, Kalis's father's enforcer. He did not look happy to be on Earth. He looked angry and uncomfortable. His large black eyes moved around the building with suspicion and dislike. The Queen walked into the meeting room first. She looked at all the human leaders gathered there. She looked at Min Su and his friends. Then she walked to Kalis and embraced her with all 4 arms. "My daughter," the Queen said, "I am proud of you. You have shown us the way to a better future." For the next many hours, they negotiated. The humans wanted to know about Vrothian technology. They wanted to know if the Vrothians could help solve problems on Earth, like hunger and disease. The Vrothians wanted to know about human culture and human creativity. They wanted to understand why humans seemed to care so much about things that did not matter, like art and music and love. "We do not have these things in our culture," the Queen said. "We have beauty, but we do not have art. We have mathematics and science, but we do not have music. We do not understand love the way you understand it. For us, reproduction and partnership are things we do because it is our duty. We do not feel the emotions the way you do." "That is sad," one of the human leaders said. "These things are what make life worth living." "Perhaps," the Queen said, "which is why we wish to learn from you." A human scientist stood up. Her name was Dr. Park, and she worked on diseases. "Your Majesty," she said, "if you could share your medical technology with us, we could cure many diseases that kill humans every year. We could save millions of lives. Is this something you would be willing to do?" The Queen looked at her council members. They seemed unsure. Tayo was shaking his head slightly. "There is a question we must ask first," the Queen said. "Why should we help you? What will we receive in return?" Min Su stood up. Everyone turned to look at him. The human leaders looked surprised that he was speaking. The Vrothian delegation looked confused, but Kalis looked at him with trust in her big black eyes. "Your Majesty," Min Su said, his voice shaking a little, "what humans can offer you is not technology or money. What we can offer you is something more valuable. We can offer you perspectives and ideas that you do not have in your culture. We can show you new ways of thinking. We can help your people learn to feel the things you have never felt before. And in return, you can help us become better at science and technology. We can help each other become complete civilizations." The Queen was very quiet for a long time. Then she made a clicking sound. Min Su realized that this was her version of laughter or approval. "This human speaks with wisdom," the Queen said. "He is correct. We are both incomplete without the other. We have technology but no creativity. We have structure but no freedom. We have order but no joy. Humans have chaos and pain, but you also have meaning and purpose. Yes, I believe we should help each other." The negotiations continued through the day and into the night. They agreed to share technology. They agreed to work together on problems like disease and poverty. They agreed that scientists from both worlds would work together to make new discoveries. They agreed that students from Earth would be able to visit the Vrothian Collective, and students from there would come to Earth. Most importantly, They agreed that Kalis would be the official ambassador between the two civilizations. She would be the one who helped humans and Vrothians understand each other. As the meeting was ending, Teo stood up. He looked angry and frustrated. "This is a mistake," he said. "We are making ourselves weak. The Queen should not be listening to this human. We are strong because we are pure and unchanged. Now we will become contaminated by human emotions and human chaos." "Chancellor," the Queen said, and her voice was very cold. "You are speaking to your superiors. You will be silent." Teo bowed, but his face was full of anger. He turned and walked out of the meeting room. Everyone knew that not all Vrothians would accept this new relationship with Earth. Later that night, Minsu was standing on the balcony of the building where they were staying. Kalis came out to stand with him. She was not wearing her human disguise anymore. She was just herself, with her blue-green skin and her 4 arms. "Thank you for speaking at the meeting," Kalis said. "You said the right thing at the right time." "I was just telling the truth," Minsu said. "We are different species, but we need each other. We are stronger together than we are apart." "My mother wants to speak with me," Kalis said. "She wants to know if I will go back to our planet with her. She says there is much work to be done. Our people need to learn to accept new ideas and new ways of thinking. She says I can help them." "Will you go?" Minsu asked. "For a time," Kalis said. "But I will come back to Earth. This is my home now. You are my family now. Even if I go to space, I will return." The Queen had one more surprise for the human leaders. She revealed that she had been gathering information about human intelligence for years. She had been studying the human brain and human creativity. She had discovered something extraordinary. "Humans are the most adaptable creatures in the galaxy," she said. "You change your minds. You create new things. You question your leaders. You fight for your beliefs. We Vrothians are stable and strong, but we are also rigid and unchanging. We are exactly the same as we were 500 years ago. But you humans, you are always becoming something new." She showed them data and research. She showed them how human civilizations had changed and grown. She showed them how humans had overcome problems that seemed impossible. She showed them that humans were not weak or primitive. Humans were actually at the frontier of evolution. Humans were the future. "This is why I support my daughter's choice to stay here," the Queen said. "This is why I will help Earth. Because I believe that the future of intelligent life in the galaxy will be shaped by human choices and human creativity. And I want my people to be part of that future." The meeting ended with the two civilizations shaking hands. Humans shaking hands with Vrothians in the traditional human way, and Vrothians touching hands with humans using all 4 of their arms at once. It was strange and beautiful and hopeful. Minsu realized that everything had changed. The world would never be the same. The next day, headlines all over Earth announced the news. Humanity makes friends with aliens. New era of peace and cooperation begins. Earth joins the community of galactic civilizations. But more important than the headlines was the change in human hearts. Humans realized that they were not alone, and they realized that they had something valuable to offer the universe. They were not the weak ones. They were the ones with creativity and courage and hope. And it had all started with one alien princess and one human data analyst who had met by accident through a broken window.